And I think we're live. We are live. So I'll wait for people to pour in here. I don't know how you do your live streams, John, but I just we usually have like an intro because I do it with I do it on Streamlabs.
John, but I just kind of hang out, dude.
Yeah, we have like a whole show.
Yes, I don't even intro. I say, "Hey, what's up?" And
what's up?
Hit the button, like immediately, just start hitting the button.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we'll stick to that format. But for anybody coming in here, the man, the myth, the legend, John, otherwise known as Slop, in here. Word on the street is they want me back here on the Thunderdome. Just FYI, I don't know. That's word on the street. So we might have to, have another showing here pretty soon. But this is the next best thing we got here. So
yep. So we're going to go to PrizePicks first.
That's a good question. Where do you want to go?
I'm sorry, Parlay Play. My bad.
You lead, dude. Where do you want to go? You want to go PrizePicks?
Oh, you have that up. I feel like that's the way we should go.
A lot of people love Parlay Play because of how soft.
But if the people like it, then I like it.
There you go. That's what we love to hear.
I always forget to check it because I don't track these like I do like a straight bet, And I was kind of like, oh no shit, I just hit that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. The thing with DFS is that you literally have to parlay these bets. It's definitely not as appealing, but when you do hit, it's the best thing in the world. It really is. It's the most. It's the greatest feeling. We had a community sweat. We were talking about this, guys. For anybody coming in, 34 of you in here. Awesome. We were talking about this earlier. We had a live sweat. We had a parlay play tweeted out from the correlation tool. We're gonna have to give away a correlation slip here a little bit later on, John, and talk about why these slips are so profitable on these fantasy apps. But guys, if you are following us on Twitter, we hit a 22x. The only reason it was 22, it would have been 40. I believe some jerk punter pushed. I think that's what it was. I think it was the Seahawks. Was it the Seahawks punter? I forget. For anybody who followed, let me know.
Dude, I don't know who the punters are.
But they pushed, and it went from a 6-legger down to a 5-legger. That's the way it works on these DFS apps. 22x, guys. 22x for a correlation slip.
That's ridiculous.
Let's go ahead and just kick it off here and go right down the line. Some of these plays are just too good. I don't want to look at the combo props yet because a lot of these like step on each other's toes in terms of correlation. So I want to go down the line here and focus on some of these other. I'm going to keep it NFL because this is an NFL live stream. And let's go. Do you know any of these defensive guys, John? Like, do you know who Dre Greenlaw is, for instance? You're an offensive guy.
Looks like he's pretty good because 7.5 tackle number.
That's about all I know. I was wondering, hey, are you a defensive guy? No,
I'm trying to get into him though. There's this guy Ryan Noonan that has definitely like just changed the game with tackles. It's unbelievable. Like he just shows up with tackle plays. I think he did it as a bit to begin with, and then realized like you could actually make money in that market. But like he knows like the scores. Like he knows like it's arbitrary how they assign assists and tackles.
Right.
Like they'll just give like if a guy was near the pile, like he gets an assist on that tackle. Does that make sense? Like,
I always wondered that. I had no idea.
So certain places though, because like in Pittsburgh, I think is the place where it's very, very liberal as to like who got that tackle on assist. Like there's again, like you'll see what I'm saying. So anyways, he went through the work of doing that. Like he's like tracking them down on like LinkedIn and trying to find their names, like who these people are. I was like, wow, okay, man. So like I'll follow this guy. Like he sounds legit.
I had no idea.
Yes, no, I didn't know any of that. And then I was like, all right, well, maybe that is a market you can get an edge in. Because again, if you know like which scores tend to skew, everybody gets an assist, like that kind of thing, then it's like, all right, well, we could probably make money here.
Yeah,
and dude, over bets too. And I love overs.
Oh, yeah. Whenever there's an over tackles plus assists, I love it. Especially if the game stays close. Like, these guys are constantly going back and forth because there's a lot of passing. There's a lot more. Of course, it depends on where they are in the field. But usually, and correct, and I only figured this out because I was talking to our engineers, tackles plus assists overs are correlated with like over passing yards, over receptions. And to me, that didn't make sense at first because you would think like running plays, like a lot more tackles are involved. Yeah. But the games are extended. Right? When you're passing the ball,
more plays.
So it makes sense. So usually over tackles plus assists doesn't really matter the team. It just matters about the matchup. Correlated with over passing. So just something to consider when you guys are playing these together. A couple plays here I found here at the top. This is the Daily Grind Fantasy tool. By the way, let's stop right here. Parlay Play. If you guys have not downloaded Parlay Play, one of our most favorite apps to use code SLOP. That's your code, right? SLOP?
Yep.
We'll give a quick shout out here to John Slop, and that's for 100% matchup to $100. You put in $100, you get 100% match. That's how it works. Couple plays here at the very top for Parlay Play. There's so many plays on here that just aren't available in PrizePicks, which is why we love it. We just talked about Greenlaw here. Average odds of minus 146. And if you guys think about this just in terms of what that means, a lot of people look at these lines, they don't know what this means. And all this means is that this is a price point that they're offering on the sports books. If we look down here at the line for DraftKings, for BetMGM, for Barstool, they're going to punish you for placing a straight bet right now on the over for Greenlaw. And that really means that they're favoring the outcome here for this guy to go over tackles plus assists. As a sharp sports bettor, we don't really care why that is. We just care that it's favored to go over. And what we can do is turn around and put this into a 6-flex parlay play slip. 6-man insured, by the way, John. Didn't know if you knew that. The best bang for your buck here, average odds of minus 113. So you can grab this Dre Greenlaw guy over 7.5 at minus 113 implied odds on Parlay Play by putting him into a parlay, opposed to these minus 140. Looks like minus 140 is the lowest line you can get on DraftKings, which is freaking crazy. And all you're doing is you're observing the market and you're saving value. That's all we're doing here. So that's my first play. I put in Anthony Richardson. What do you think about this? What do you think about this guy, Anthony Richardson? You like him? Well, I hate him because I'm a Jags fan, because he's a Colts player, so I naturally immediately hate him. But
yeah, he might be good.
He might be good.
He's good, which would be crazy because everybody was out on him, and then it turns out he's actually good.
Yeah, I will say this: the one game I watch all the Jags games. Obviously, watch the Colts their first game. He did not impress in the passing game. Again, maybe it's his first game being out there. He was sensational in terms of the running. We all knew that.
To be a terrible passer.
Yeah.
That was his thing. It's like, oh yeah, he can't throw. He's just going to be able to run. So then when you watch it, you're like, he's not that bad throwing the ball. I mean, he's not good. No one's saying that. I'm just saying, but like the way he was described was like he physically could not throw a football. And
it's like me out there or something.
Kind of can. So if he, I don't know, gets that together, then he's going to be a problem. And again, everybody was like, the Colts are crazy taking him so high. Like I remember when that whole thing over the summer started going out, like, oh, the Colts might take him, or I'm sorry, he might go higher than people think. And everybody was out on him. Everybody. And then it turned out everybody was wrong.
I mean, he's a freak. He's an athletic freak, which is what you want in the NFL. Last time I checked, right? So that's the main thing. And if you can fix the other aspects of his game, I don't see why not.
All right, we're going fast here. What's the third guy?
Do you know why I'm going fast? Because people love that. They just want picks,
I love it too. Bro. I like it too.
I'm trying to multitask. By the way, I suck at multitasking. So,
all right. So what's the next guy? What's the third guy? I got a full slip too. So we got Fitzpatrick here over 6.5. I mean, what a better here. Everybody loves him. I got him free from Noonan. It was 6.5, I think, plus something, plus 113 or something stupid like that. It was minus 140 like 10 minutes later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy movement.
And their score is very, very generous.
So then that makes you love this play right here, right? Even more.
Yep, 100%. Who's the next guy?
Jordan Hicks, real quick, over 8. And the reason why we love this, again, this one's kind of weird because the line's set to 7.5. But if you look at the juice here, I mean, this is freaking crazy, John. Look at this. Minus 199. I mean, you might as well call this a free square, right?
Yep, that's free.
Caesars, minus 199. Like they're saying that this thing is going to push at 8 or go over. That's what they're saying. Chances are, right? Like obviously nothing's ever a free square, but that's another really good player, Jordan Hicks over. We have Joe Mixon under 3.5 receptions. I don't know. Like if you look at this fundamentally, I don't know if I love this, right? Like the Bengals have been a trash bag team, right? But this is probably the one game where they're probably favored. I haven't looked at the line, but I'm assuming they're favored in this game against Arizona.
3. I think they're probably going to have to throw. I don't know that. I don't like running backs at 3.5, to be honest with you, to go over.
It's pretty aggressive.
Obviously, I like the 1.5 better, but 2.5 is what I'll do. Like a lot of that's my biggest over on a running back would be 2.5, 3.5. I mean, you're asking I catch 4 balls. I don't know. I'd definitely say under, even though I don't like going under ever. But
yeah, and the lines are definitely favoring the under here on Joe Mixon. This is the slip so far. Is everything, and then Allen Robinson. I don't know if this guy still plays football. I don't know. I haven't seen him.
You like him. He was a jag.
I used to love him. And then he just, dude, I mean, like all jokes aside, I really do feel bad for him with his ACL injury. And then they just let him go.
Like having to play with Blake Bortles. He could have been special. And then like he's got a quarterback that just airmails like everything.
I will say, when I have a Blake Bortles jersey behind me here, I will say I was probably one of the few guys that did like Blake Bortles enough to keep him around. But yeah, I mean, he's obviously not. It was never the future.
I don't know. I was always a Blake guy just because he went to UCF, and that's where I went. I mean,
did you? Okay.
Yep. Not at the same time, but I mean, I was probably 20 years before him. But still, I'm just saying, like UCF guy, and he was cool. So I like that too about him. But when you watch him throw a ball, it's like, man, these receivers, he's going to get somebody killed.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Well, he did. Yeah. He got people killed out there.
And he almost did multiple times.
I got in this slip, by the way. This is the slip. You guys.
We're doing insured.
Insured. So the reason for that, John, and this is a good talking point. I love when I can just, educate people. 6-man insured slip are the best bang for your buck here on Parlay Play. And the reason for this is actually crazy. I don't know how often you play PrizePicks, but to compare directly to their 6-man flex slips, they pay out 25 for getting 6 out of 6. This is, again, insured slips. 5 out of 6, you get 2.5x. And then 4 out of 6, you get 0.5. For PrizePicks, this 5 out of 6 is only 2x. And then the 4 out of 6 only 0.4x. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up. It adds up.
Especially because you have to do a lot of these. Like some of if you guys are following me and you're following all the straight bets and stuff, like this is not the same thing. You don't throw a unit on these like as we would a straight bet. You don't hit these at the same clip as you hit a straight bet. You just don't. Like you're throwing a bunch of these and then you check later. Does that make sense? Like that's literally what I do. I get sweat out my straight bets and I come back here like, wait, how did I do here? Do you know what I mean? When
I'm playing correlate, because we're going to move on to correlation here in a bit. When I play these correlated slips, I will just I'll put 0.25 units, whatever you guys' unit size is, on each correlated slip. I won't even check back till like the third quarter because that's when red zone. Red zone the best thing to have for this, and then red zone just shows you who's the highest scoring, closest games. Usually, I'm taking overs, right? I hope you are too, John. So they're going to show my game. They're going to show my game. It's the best sweat in the world.
Yeah, those are okay. I see what you're saying. I do that. Usually, the only ones I even think about it for are for the standalone primetime games. So Thursday night, Monday night, Sunday night. Just because there's only one game going on at that time, and it's very difficult to not know which guys you have in your correlated slip because there's only one game, and especially if you already cashed your straight bet, now you're kind of like, all right, what else do I got? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm a psychopath. I'm playing all these slips like 24/7. So
yes.
And again, you guys have to have your bankroll. You have to have bankroll management is key here. Don't go throwing, and so many people get this wrong. How many times have we talked about this, John? Where people just 10% on these correlation slips. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, no. Like I personally, I'll be able to gamble forever just because I do 1% on literally everything. So like I'll never be in trouble. That's why I say what I say on Twitter all the time. That you're a degenerate, you're an irresponsible gambler. It's like no, because if you're betting 1% of your bankroll on every play, like you're never going to be in trouble. I promise you.
Never. And I recommend even less. Like sometimes less than 1%, which is, I mean, you're golden. You can lose. I literally can lose like 50 slips straight. I'm golden. I'm still fine.
I could. I'll say it. That's for straight like single bets.
That's true.
For a DFS flip, I'll have like $20 on it. So that's my unit size is 100, and it's 1% of my bankroll. So if I only have $20, you do the math. Like it's a fifth of a unit.
Right.
So like I can just bet these forever. But the thing is, you will be profitable. Just slow down how much you bet on it and bet as many as you can, and you'd be shocked at you'll just be profitable. But again, there's so many losses in there. So you can't sweat them out like they're a straight bet. That's the problem people have. Like once they get over that like psychological issue, they're good. Like it's okay, I can do this.
Yeah. I mean, I have a Google sheet somewhere that shows you the break-even points based on the average hit rate per leg for these parlay play slips for PrizePicks. And you literally, like, I think at a 50, I think the break-even point's like 54% for each one of these legs. If you're hitting at a 54% hit rate on each individual leg on parlay play on average, you only go 6 of 6. I think it's like 3% of the time. So if you do the math like quickly, even if you're breaking even, you're hitting at 54%, you have to go into your slip expectation knowing that slip's going to have an average hit rate going 6 of 6, 3% of the time. 3%.
You lose 97 times.
It's wild. That's why, like, you have to go into it with that mindset. Of course,
DFS is for dogs.
Yeah,
you gotta for people. You gotta really get it. If you don't get it, you're done. It ain't gonna work.
Exactly. And again, like that's for 54. We're looking at edges here. Like we're creeping up here at 56, 54. So we're looking at, if I'm doing quick math, like 6 of 6, we're going 4 or 5%, which is still not that much better. Like you're still losing, 95% of your slips, which is wild. Anyway,
that's why guys can't do it, though. I'm telling you, that's literally why they can't do it.
Yeah, they just can't grasp that.
No, you can't profit on that. You're like, yeah, that's the thing. You think about it the same way you think about straight bets. It's like this is not even remotely the same thing.
I have a couple plays for you. I want to hear your thoughts. So I've been building out the slip here. Hunter Henry over 3 receptions. What's your thoughts there? They're playing the Saints.
Yes.
Just yes?
Yes.
You're a Hunter Henry guy.
Yes, I heard over. No, I'm just kidding. I do like over. Don't get me wrong, but that's a great number. I know you don't like pushes, but I'm just saying it's sometimes a push is a win. You know what I mean? So
a push is a win.
You definitely have the push in your pocket. So now you're cooking with grease. And 3 is a very low number. And a game where I think that the Saints are gonna kind of be able to move the ball against the Patriots. Patriots defense, it took a hit. I think Judon's out, and so is Gonzalez.
Okay.
So like that, they should be able to move the ball a little bit.
What's the line in that game for over under? Let me check. That's 39.
It's a very
That's
low line. It's like 21. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it should be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Jets and the Patriots game was what? It was 30. Did it close at 35, 34? Or am I crazy? They only scored 25 points. So I also want to, I'll go into correlation here in a second. What's up?
Montgomery's next.
Yeah, Montgomery's next. This is over 18.5 rushing attempts. This guy's been unreal. I mean, like
Gibbs is out.
The Gibbs, is he out? That's the reason why he's over 18.5.
Okay. Gibbs is out, and they're 11-point favorites. And they just line up and just run. He has run the ball, I think, 30-plus times in a game this season. That's like 1995 stuff. You know what I mean?
And that's with Gibbs.
One running back. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is the safest line. This is the freest line I've ever seen that. So Montgomery, if we're taking a look here at the line, another really good talking point here is when you're looking at these lines, you'll see them adjust, and you don't have to know a single thing. Like, I didn't know that Gibbs was out there, but I do know that Montgomery is obviously, he's not even the backup. He's a starter at this point. He's the only guy that's going to be running the ball today. And again, I didn't have to know that knowledge. All I had to see was the lines. The lines are moving. The lines are shifting. It's really cool to see. And in the direction of Montgomery's over rushing attempts. And because of that, like I don't have to know anything. I just have to observe the market. And that's all you have to do. I don't have to know anything about the game. You guys can all sports bet on any specific, on any kind of sport that you want by just looking at the market, which is the beautiful thing behind line observing and line comparing.
Huge.
I'm going to put in, what do you think about Breece Hall? Because
I like him over.
Yeah, so I won't take this because we only have one other line to compare to. This is actually on Fliff, so Fliff is off anyway. Yeah, we're not going to compare 1-to-1 with Fliff. That doesn't make sense.
That guy, I think everything's kind of baked in on him, and I don't know that he's going to get, like, I think that under might be pretty sharp. If I saw the number right, it looked like 17.5.
17.5.
Yeah. I don't know that he's carrying the ball 17 and a half times, guys.
Well, no, this is longest rush.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that's scary. I was like,
yeah, this guy is not running 17 times.
Okay.
No.
I was like,
yeah,
wow.
Longest rush bets are so scary too.
I'm not messing with that. Those were like the touchdown bets.
Yeah.
Where you were right. You were right. And then all of a sudden you were wrong because some random thing happened. You know what I mean? Like, I like the counting stats. That's where I think we can find the most edges. Just because, like 3 receptions, 18 and a half rushing attempts. Like, those aren't lightning in a bottle. Like, they're not home runs. You know, home runs, guy has a lucky swing, doesn't connect on another ball all game. You were right. He can't hit the pitcher. But there was one time he did, and it went over the fence. You know what I mean? Like,
I completely agree with you.
Single instances I don't think are great in these parlays.
Another thing to note, too, to play off your point, is that these lines aren't set as much. Like, we just took a look at that longest rush. Like, there's only one other book, right? Like, these books are terrified to put out lines for that because there's not, like you said, they're home run bets. That's what they are.
Single instance, and those are not what you want.
But these receptions,
not for these playoffs. Yeah, receptions are nice.
Yeah, I mean, like, they have so much book support because all these books are running models or projections. These sharp bets are coming in on the over and under, and all things are happening, and they're setting their lines very, very sharp, right? And like Dallas Goedert, I wouldn't be surprised if he lands right on 4 because there's so much book support. There's so many simulations. There's so many things being run behind the scenes. And this is a really accurate projection. Like, Dallas Goedert 4, that's what I would think about. If I had to set a projection for Dallas Goedert, it's 4 every time. So
yeah, you're literally like, good line, book. You know what I mean? Like, you see that. Like, I'm like, that's not even bettable because that looks right.
I'm going to go ahead and place this one here for Parlay Play, and then we're going to move into correlation. For anybody who wants to stay for correlation.
Xavier Howard?
Xavier Howard, this is an under, and again, that could be true because the Dolphins could rush the ball. I mean, if we're being serious here, Daniel Jones went 4 and out how many times against the Seahawks? It was insane. Like, it was the defense was never on the field, never.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier Howard, I mean, you know, he's not getting involved in tackles in this game. Under 3.5, I'm fine with playing that.
Yep, I can see that. And then under 47.5 for
rushing yards for Anthony Richardson.
Yep. And then what's the next one?
Nico Collins under 4.5 receptions. I will admit this scares me, but the Texans. What would you say?
4.5 is big for him. 3.5, I'd never do it.
I think he has been set at 3.5, which is why he's now 4.5 because they're like, oh, this guy's good.
He's having good days, but like, he's a yards guy, and they have to be behind guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he is.
I don't know. Yeah, they might try to. They might want to run the ball.
Same thing with Courtland Sutton, right? Like 3.5. He's a long ball guy, but he also. I mean, I feel like this game's going to be more competitive than we think here. What's the line?
Is it under 3.5?
Oh, my Jags are up to an 8-0 lead. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm watching that right now. Evan Ingram just dropped a touchdown pass, bro.
Oh, no.
Actually, no, my bad. It got kind of swatted from him. I mean, he had a really good shot at it, but almost. What was it Courtland Sutton under 3.5?
No, it's over. That's over. So that's over with the Jets. They're playing the Jets, right? I'm curious. What's this line? It's 2.5? Yeah, I mean.
That's definitely like a bullshit game.
Yeah, there should be a lot of going back and forth then. I like that line. 3.5. Or 3.5 over receptions. Yeah, then that's insured.
500. All right, I'm in. Oh, David Montgomery is not valid, it says.
Oh, did he get removed?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't.
Well, there you go. That's, guys, you saw it here before your very eyes. I mean, look, all the books are setting this, so it looks like 19.5 on FanDuel. We know historically, like for prop bets, American prop bets are one of the sharpest. I mean, to 19.5. And then these other books are heavily juicing the over 18.5, so it was only a matter of time before they went over. You can get away with the 5-man insured, John. Like the lines aren't that much worse. I think it's minus 117 odds, which isn't.
We'll let you move it. Would we take 19?
Oh, minus 115. Would you take 19? That's a good question. Do you want to just hammer it? Do you want to take it?
I'm gonna see like if they let me even do it. Like I slid it over. Yeah, they did.
Oh, you slid the line.
Yeah, I don't think it's that ridiculous.
Montgomery.
18.5 obviously is much better than 19, blah, blah, blah. But when you're talking about 18.5, 19, this isn't 9.5 to 10. Do you know what I mean? This is 18.5 to 19. So it does kind of change it.
Dude, every yard matters. I can't tell you how many times this is a horror story for you. I took a correlated slip. It was the Bengals. I forget who they were playing, man. But long story short, Joe Burrow, I had an all under slip, the punters over, of course, because that's the best thing ever to sweat out. Punters overs. we took unders with all the skilled player positions. Joe Burrow was not good in that game. But this guy went over by 1.5 yards. Okay. And keep in mind the parlay is non-insured because non-insured slips offer better ROI for correlated slips. But because of that 1.5 line, or because of that 1.5 yards over, I missed the entire slip. So I will always go to my grave saying every yard matters, because that is the definition of every yard.
Always. I've been all right, dude. I've had ones where I think it was Travis Kelce against the Patriots. I had him over like whatever it was, 70. We'll say 71.5 yards. He had 77. Catches the ball, fumbles it, it gets knocked backwards. Well, in the NFL, those yards get taken off of the receiving yards. It starts from where it's recovered. So he lost, like the ball was recovered like 15 yards the other way.
Yeah. So that's brutal.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything matters. Like that's why I was saying, like, don't just go willy-nilly with moving lines, because everything matters.
Everything, and especially in that slip. And it goes to show you, and this is a good transition over to the correlation tool. The one thing that we take into consideration, John, behind every single combination of correlation is we take into consideration the individual plus EV legs. So let's say that Joe Burrow was 5 yards more soft on another DFS book. We would favor that specific line with all overs because his line is slightly softer. Whereas on Parlay Play, if he's more aggressive, let's say he's 10 yards more aggressive, we're going to then turn that slip into an all under slip. And this is all completely automated, all 1000% engineered. Guys, these are some of the sharpest guys in the entire world working on this stuff. This isn't me. I just talk about it, right? These guys are taking into consideration every single positive correlated combo that you can. Over yards, under rushing yards with over receiving yards, over passing yards. I mean, a lot of it's straightforward, but one thing that you guys are not taking into consideration is that we're scoping through every single combination known to man. Punters are being recommended, guys. In what world are that? I mean, that's just breaking all the rules at that point. Like, who knew that punters would be that positively correlated with receiving yards and over passing yards in close games? Sure. I mean, it sounds intuitive, but you don't think about it, and you don't actually know how positively correlated it is. So anyway, ran over. We're going to go over some of these correlation slips. John, if you guys have not used this correlation tool, it's a cheat code, literally. Use code SLOP, and this is not leaving the live stream, okay? So this is a secret between us. 25% off for life. And again, this is an investment. So I know that this thing is expensive, but if you were a $100 bettor, you would be up over $26,000 placing every single slip from this tool. And this isn't fudge numbers. We literally track every single thing on this tool. The first slip recommended from each game. And there's some slips, guys, where they actually sweep, where we recommend later, that aren't recommended on this tool. So it really just depends on when you take the slip. Just keep in consideration that the profit margin is always plus on all these on all these slips. We only recommend profitable slips. That's the beauty of it. John, what game? Where are we going?
All right. First question I got is, so we're definitely doing non-insured always on Parlay Play.
So listen, and this is a math thing, so I'm not going to try to break any brains in here. The ROI percentage is greater when the correlation is so strong, because the possibility that you're going to sweep goes up that much. With these like small edges that we were just observing, 6-man insured, where we have 56%, like that's a 2% profit margin, right, on each leg.
Yep.
It might not be that great. So a 6-man insured slip makes more sense in that situation. And the only reason I know that is because I talked to Alex Monahan. He's always right about this stuff, right? So I was like, why are we not recommending 6-man insureds? Well, and then he gave me that. So
okay.
Non-insured. I mean, it's all in or nothing. Like that's how we're playing these.
I like all or nothing. I'm a big all or nothing guy. Always have been.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way to do it on FanDuel, right? Like, you can't have insured parlays. Yeah.
Nope. All right. So Carolina Panthers, Detroit Lions. What are they saying for that?
They're saying, I guess we can just go through. We can go through here. They're saying overs.
Okay. That feels wild, but okay.
I will say that this
because Sun God's not playing. So
who's Sun God?
St. Brown.
Is that St. Brown? Okay.
So
could be closer.
Park and Reynolds makes a lot of sense, especially if Goff can go over on his touchdowns.
Does that one scare you? Be honest. We can move on.
It does scare me just because we love Montgomery so much, and I wouldn't put it past Dan Campbell to be like, hey, we don't have to show the playbook today. We can just line up and run the ball down these guys' throats. And then Panthers, they can't score because Bryce Young. You know what I'm saying? Now, like, so what's no threat of a passing attack on the other side. So it's like, that's scary. But those numbers reflect that, though. Like that's one thing you got to remember. And when you bet sports, it's like the numbers reflect everything you think. So
1,000%.
It's like, oh, that means under. It's like, well, under what? Because like the number actually matters a lot.
I talk about that all the time on Twitter. I'm sure you've seen it. It's like some of these guys they'll chirp at me because I hit an under on a superstar, right? Don't take an under on a superstar. Well, that's idiot. That's why LeBron James's points line is set to 30 because he's a superstar.
Yeah, you can't do like you have to know what the number is.
Right. Like that's why Patrick Mahomes' passing yards is 350 this game. Of course, I'm in the under there. That's not normal.
Exactly.
You're not supposed to go out and throw 350.
That's a very big number. Whereas like 217 for Young? That's like people always get me too because I like to take the overs on guys like that. But like they're like, oh, you took an over on Danny Dimes? It's like, dude, it was 189 yards. That's not Justin Fields. The other night it was Justin Fields. You took an over on Justin Fields. It was 200 plus for like plus 120. That's a terrible game for a lot of guys. And we're getting plus 20 if he just clears this super low bar. So yeah, I don't really worry about the name. You worry about the number.
Exactly. 1,000%. You're preaching to the choir. I want to see his line on FanDuel here just because I'm more so curious. I'm going to show you guys why this makes a difference. So Bryce Young is set to, you probably looked at this more than I have. Where's his passing yards?
Just go to passing. Instead of popular, go over to the tab there. And then, now you get rid of all the noise. And there you go.
209 on FanDuel. 212.5. I'm curious to see what Jared Goff's passing touchdowns, because I want to show you guys why this is favoring the over, because usually we see a pretty good discrepancy here.
Bottom.
There you go. Yeah. Jared Goff over. So this is slightly juiced on the over. So again, I'm using this as an example. So if FanDuel's juicing the over here, I'm assuming the rest of the books are slightly juicing the over, and Jared Goff over 1.5. We're going to start to slip out there. Hey, this is a soft line on Jared Goff. So then we're going to start there and then correlate all these other guys. Chark.
Yeah, well, if he does that, then it all hinges on somebody. You just got to figure out the guy it hinges on and then say, hey, how likely do I think this guy is? And a lot of times it's like, yeah, that is pretty likely. And then next thing you know, dominoes start falling. That's why this tool is awesome.
Exactly.
Like, I don't even like mess with tools at all. But this one I will. Like this one makes it so much easier to hit the button, just grab a bunch of these.
Yeah, I always get a lot of the questions too. And by the way, it looks like Josh Reynolds 45.5 here as well. These punt lines might be super aggressive too. That's another thing to consider. They might actually be, 3.5 and 4.5 are actually pretty aggressive. So I get a lot of questions on people asking how to use this tool. And it's almost like they overthink. How many people overthink in this world? I overthink. They ask me how to play this tool, and when I literally send them back a message, like you just take the slips recommended on the tool, they almost get angry at me, and it's the process. And the beauty of this is we've already done the dirty work for it. We don't have to identify any individual plus EV legs. It's already done that for you. It's already seen checked out the highest correlated combos. It's already done all that. So you literally, guys, all you have to do, enter the slips. And this is the first slip we're going to show you. John, I'm also getting some questions. I have a good idea here. People are asking for underdog slips because usually that's people's favorite. And then PrizePicks. Let's recommend a couple more here, and then we'll go ahead and sign off. from the live stream just because I personally am being selfish. I want to see the end of my game. I didn't think the Jags would actually have a shot here.
Yeah, they're up 11-0.
I see that.
Second quarter.
Yeah, and listen, if they can make a run here, this is the first game to start doing so. So let's go Cincinnati Bengals Cardinals. I feel like this could be secretly high scoring. Yeah, not secretly. I think that could be high scoring.
I don't think the Bengals are going to try to run it too much. Like, I really don't. I think that they know. Now, people know that the Cardinals do stop the run, but their pass defense not great. So maybe they don't try and run a little bit. Maybe Joe Burrow throws. T. Higgins is out, which is great for the other receivers.
Chase over 79.5 here is what they're recommending.
All right,
that seems low.
Burrow 1.5 touchdowns. Yeah, see, that's the thing. They get down there inside the 5. I don't know that they're going to be able to run it in. I think they have to throw it. So maybe you get another extra opportunity or two if they're down on that side of the field for a passing touchdown rather than a rushing touchdown. So yeah, I do like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's very straightforward too. Michael Wilson over 3 receptions. Sorry, I'm putting this in myself.
His passing yards.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. Well, last time I took that dude, he slammed his over. Joshua Dobbs. I took him against the Cowboys, of course. That was the one game. That was a fluke game.
Those are my favorite bets, though. Like the quarterback close to 200 bets. Obviously, you're betting on guys that, you're going to hold your nose whenever you hear their name. But you're like, dude, it's 217.5 passing yards. I cannot stress to you how much that is not good for them. Like,
Joshua Dobbs has been balling out, too, for what it's worth.
That line says, hey, this guy's not good. You know what I mean? Like, so you don't have to tell me that the guy's not that good. But at the same time, I think he's better than that. You know what I mean? I think he's better than 217.5. Like, that's kind of disrespectful. He's actually playing pretty well.
And Justin Fields, I mean, there was a point in the season last season where his passing yards was like down to like 159, 169. It was insane. And that's no disrespect to him as a player. It was just him as a passer. Like they were just rushing so much last season.
All right, so it's Rondale Moore over on his. I can't see my slip.
Yeah, over 23.5 receiving yards, and then Michael Wilson over 3 receptions. I will say that Underdog has been the first DFS app to nerf their correlation slips. You can only place the same players and their combos once. So if you turn around and try to place another slip with Joe Burrow over 1.5 passing touchdowns, it won't let you. So if you guys have not used any of these props, I would use them on a correlation slip. That's where I would use it. Yeah, that's what our tool is doing. Slop. Okay. We're moving the needle already here on Underdog. So
all right, so Michael Wilson, I can't see the entire slip. That pisses me off.
What do you mean? You can't see it?
Yeah, I gotta like scroll down on Underdog.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. All right, I got it. Michael Wilson's over 3 receptions, correct?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And instead of targeting slips now, because we like the profit margins, let's target the actual game. What game do you want to see? What game do you want to sweat in?
I'm kind of interested in the Vikings and Chiefs.
That is a good game.
Parlay play, but I want an Underdog or a PrizePicks if we got that.
Well, guess what, John? We can filter. That's the beauty of this.
Wow. Big filter guy myself.
And we can even filter by game. There's a bunch of soccer, and I'm not a big soccer fan, so I'm just going to filter them out.
Those are the best ones for me because I'll never watch one of those games, so I just legitimately just throw in the.
You just trust the math there.
Yeah, here you go.
Vikings. Who's the home in that game?
I don't even know. I think that's
Kansas
City.
So we have a very low profit margin, and by no means, guys, is that a bad slip. It's just not as good as the Underdog. Like, obviously, if there's profit, right? But we're going to go ahead and focus on the Underdog one, John, here.
Yep.
And it's all overs. I mean, come on. We got to get this in, right?
Yep. I'm in Cousins and Mahomes on their yards. Got it.
It's going to be a duel, hopefully.
I mean, I hope so. Kansas City has a pass defense, but I don't know.
It's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, he gets going. I think that I think that the Vikings will not be able to run on them, and it's going to force a throw. So if they have any success it could just the snowball starts going.
I will say this.
So Addison and Jefferson yards.
Yeah, I was going to talk about those guys because that one it terrifies me, but I also think it's very good because we are favoring the overs on the Vikings. I mean, if anybody's playing from behind, it's going to be the Vikings, right? Like they have to get these guys involved. Addison usually is involved later in the games. Deep threat type of guy, at least he has been for these guys. He's so boom or bust, man. I have him in my best ball. Well, I mean, it's a great format to have him in. But the guy either scores 0. I mean, he literally didn't get I don't think he got a catch last game, or was that 2 games ago? And then the next game he goes out and gets 90 plus, gets 6 receptions. It's like, what is going on? So I think it's just really game script here.
Yeah, it's all a game script. That's the reason why. I mean, I don't like to tell people this, but that's the reason why I target the receiving and passing markets, just because those are going to get hit most by game script. I mean, rushing, people think rushing, but rushing's tough because you can still get home on the passing games or the passing yards and stuff like that because the variance is crazy on those. Whereas rushing, if you're wrong on the game script, your guy probably is not going to come close to it. He's at the bust like a long run, which is not easy to do. Whereas like you can get a lucky pass, you can get stuff like I said, like a 30 and a half receiving yards. That's not much. Like what? Like this guy more. I mean, that's nothing.
That's nothing.
You know what I mean, guy catches the ball, the guy covering falls down. You know what I mean? He gets 35 yards. Guess what? He really didn't impact the game much at all. He can only catch that one pass, but you won. You know what I mean? Like the pass game, the variance just is. It's all over the map. So if you can get the game script right there, you're probably gonna win like all your bet. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how it works.
Yeah, and I mean, how many times have we seen Kirk Cousins just slinging it late in the game? I mean, it happens. I feel like it happens every single game at this point. So talk about game script here. I mean, the only thing I would be concerned about here is if Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs get out to an very early lead and they favor the running game. But again, if this stays within 14 points, I would say. I mean, they're still throwing it. They're still throwing it.
Yeah, well, the beauty of these things too is you got to watch that. The Vikings, they can't run, and I think they know it. So you get passing yards early in the game too. Not just, you know what I'm saying, like not just that garbage time cleanup. You get a nice base going into halftime a lot of times just because, again, they can't run the ball. So they have to throw the ball, and they replace the run game with the short pass.
It's a great point. It is a great point. I mean, Justin Jefferson, dude. I mean, this guy, have you ever seen, I mean, because you've been betting longer than I have, naturally. Have you ever seen a line that big? 105.5 receiving yards?
You would never even take 100. Like that's stupid. But at the same time, like for one, the NFL's come a long way with passing. I mean, now it's a passing league. Obviously, it's been like that for a while. But even so, you wouldn't take even like prime Randy Moss, dude, when he was Patriots that year. It wasn't. I mean, I don't remember. I don't think I was betting player props back then. I don't even know if they existed.
I don't know if they did,
but like he was never projected at 100 plus. Like that's ridiculous. Yeah. But at the same time, Justin Jefferson, go through his game logs, guys.
It's wild.
Go through his game logs. He was like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess this seems right.
I remember looking at this last season, and his line was set around 80, and I thought that was too high. I was just like, that's insane. I've never seen a wide receiver this consistently. You know, this consistently sharp of this high of a projection at 80, 85 yards. And now it's 105, and it's like, okay, well now this makes sense. When is it going to go up next season?
Yeah, how like
your quarterback, it might actually go up. So, all right, John, we're going to do one more slip here. Again, guys, I can't stress enough how great of a tool this is. We've built this thing. Our engineers have spent so much time, so much money poured into this thing, and to see it work as consistently as it does. There were a lot of college football slips that hit yesterday as well. As you can see here, these slight jumps. Overall, I think we like barely broke even. I think that's your favorite term to use, John. We're always breaking even, obviously.
Even. No matter what happened, we just broke even.
But we really did. I think we barely broke even. I think we started the day at like 264 units. We ended up 4 units. So if you guys didn't see success, college football, don't worry. It's not a fluke. It happens from time to time. But if you did, even better. We're looking for just one slip, a couple slips to hit throughout the weekend. That's all we need.
Yeah. That's the beauty with these. Like you're not trying to hit a high percentage of them.
You're not. We talked about it. 3%, guys. Come on. That's all you have to look. 3%. Let's focus on one more. Let's target a game here. We'll give away a PrizePicks slip, and then we'll go ahead and sign off, guys. Again, use code SLOP. Shout out SLOP here. 25% off any correlation tool membership that you want. That can be a 3-monther. That can be an annual. Annual can save you the most money, by the way. It's a lot of money you can be saving there. 25% off. And of course, your monthly if you just want to try it out. All these are publicly tracked, so we don't offer a free trial. You just have to sign up. If you guys are $5 bettors, this thing still makes sense, which is wild.
That's the best part of it. That's what I was telling people. That's why I would tell people to use it. Because the first thing you ask is could the $5 guys? Because if not, then I'm out. You know what I mean? Because that's pretty basically
of course,
a lot of
doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
right.
It doesn't make sense. But you can. So
it's wild.
You can just play this forever.
Yeah.
Play like this. This is one way to play, in the sports betting game.
Yeah. And again, we're playing this until the wheels fall off. We don't know how long correlation is going to be around, but all we know is it's around now, and it's one of the greatest it's one of the greatest edges here in fantasy sports. I compare the single game parlay odds. I've done this in every one of my videos. Usually one of the best talking points is when you compare the single game parlay odds to PrizePicks to Parlay Play's odds. I mean, they're offering plus 3,900 on Parlay Play, right, for a 6-man legger. If you put this into a FanDuel, it's almost half. It's plus 2,300.
Yep.
Every time. It's wild difference. Because you
can't play same game parlays if you can play these exact combinations. You would never play these at a sportsbook.
Never. Ever. And the only reason we're doing it here is because they do not nerf the payouts right now. PrizePicks does on all unders. So that means that the next slip that we show is going to be all overs. So more good news for you, Slop. Pick a game for me. Another game that you consider a good game to target.
Rams and Eagles.
That's a 96.56 profit. Last time I checked, that's still pretty darn good.
Not bad.
Jalen Hurts over 290.5. That's aggressive, but that is. I mean, that's passing plus rushing. Yeah.
Okay.
What are your thoughts there?
I don't mind that. Let's find something else.
You want to find a different game?
Yeah, I saw the under the punch there for that guy. 4 is whoa. Now, Connor Allen does that all the time, and he loves it, and I hate it. Where you find a low number to begin with, then you take the under. You're just Jesus, bro. I get why you're doing it. No one's saying, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm thinking about future me who's watching this game, and you know what I'm saying, and being what am I doing? I only said 4. You know what I mean?
I thought that same dude. There was the Jags. This was the Falcons Jags game last weekend. They punted very early on back and forth, and I think the Jags punter's line was 3.5, and he covered it. I think he got 3 punts in the first half. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, why is this guy down here?
It was fun. Yeah, you know what I mean. I get why I did that, but like I said, thinking about future you watching the game, I don't know. All right, go up. Let's just do the top one. What is this? The Patriots
that's your team, right?
Kind of. I mean, I live in New England, so I root for the Patriots. But I've totally left fandom. Ever since the sports betting just changed everything for me. It was slowly happening, I don't know, 15, maybe even 20 years ago, and then it's gradually got to where I don't care. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
I don't care like a fan does anymore. I just don't.
The only reason I'm a Jags fan now is because I feel like I'm the only Jags fan remaining. And now that we're trending upwards, it's just I have to. I feel a sense of loyalty. I feel like I have to ride till the wheels fall off, right?
Yeah. No. It happens as you get older. Enjoy it. But as you start to get older, you're just I don't know. Sundays don't mean Patriots anymore for me.
They mean money. That's what they mean.
Yeah. It just means what's Wan'Dale Robinson's number? You know what I mean? You're some random guy.
We got 2 punters again, but these are aggressive. I don't know if you like that. Yeah, 4.5.
Under in that game, I don't know. Under punch.
Yeah, this.
Jesus.
I mean, let's be real here. Oh wow, receiving targets. That's a first. Hunter Henry's.
That's a very fun market. Wow.
Yeah.
6 is kind of go down.
We just recently got those added, by the way. So if you guys want to look at the receiving yards or receiving targets market, we're comparing against other receiving targets in the fantasy market. So
one of those flips, just the targets for all my favorite guys today.
It looks like punts are becoming a thing here.
Keep going. We'll just keep moving. There's so many tickets.
There are. These are all good, by the way. You guys can take these. Like we're just picking our favorite.
I'm more thinking the entertainment value here. I'm not even thinking about the money part. Like I don't care about the money.
They're all making money. Like they're all cashing out, guys.
Like I don't care about the money. I care about my entertainment value.
We got one under punt here.
Under 4.5 is not bad.
I was gonna say I like this one. I'm gonna be honest. I like this one. And you know what?
The Falcons when they have so many like.
What I don't like here, I will admit, what I don't like is over receiving targets for either one of these guys. But you know what?
Ooh,
I think this is fun.
Pitch. Jesus Christ. Actually, it's not necessarily the targets that are a problem for these guys.
That's true.
If you think
That's
about
true.
it, like they get targeted, I think.
Do you know what's crazy?
They're not anywhere on target.
I just pulled up Drake London. He has 3.5 receptions, right? That's his line. And then 6.5 is his receiving targets line. That's pretty bad. The ratio is not adding up there.
Not even remotely close.
That's like just over 50%.
I don't know. They fall behind. I think Houston, it's crazy to say, but I think their offense might be okay.
I don't think that's crazy at all. I think they're good. I'm going as far as to say that they're an above average offense.
Yeah,
I think CJ Stroud really is a superstar. He's turning into one. I think he's going to turn into one. I think he's totally accurate. He makes the one thing you look out for when these young quarterbacks are in the pocket is how quickly they can make a decision and if they're confident. Yeah. It might even be a bad decision, right? But if they can make a decision quickly, that's really good news. And the fact that he's making good decisions really quickly, that was one thing that kept me on Trevor Lawrence. Bad first year. He still was making decisions very quick, very early. So they're confident. And CJ Stroud is confident.
I think this slip's going to hit, dude. It's passing and rushing, though, for...
Well, he needs to rush. I don't think Ritter's making any yards in the passing game.
It was 192.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he'll get some, but it won't be. Yeah, I know what you're saying. CJ Stroud touchdowns over 1.5.
Yeah, Stroud definitely he's a baller for sure.
Yeah, I've been taking his overs. He was like 250 plus money guy, like big plus money guy. And now I think his standard line's coming out near that number. And it's like, damn. So it's over. We had a good run, CJ. I saw it, though. Never forget that I saw that, CJ. I knew you were good. All right, so then, I'm in.
I'm getting mine in right now. That's
one way to make the Texans Falcons good, guys. That's one way right there. You just did it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this could be a back and forth game for sure, just because, Texans don't have the best defense. They don't have a good defense at all, really. And yeah, make sure you're entering that punter under. That's the only under in the slip. John, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off here, unless you have anything else to say. Again, use code SLOP, guys, for all these promos if you haven't already.
Use code SLOP. That would be the best thing you can do. Smartest thing you can possibly do. Also, too, another smart thing you can do. I'm going to go hit the button at OddsJam in probably an hour. So less than an hour. So that's on my channel at Slop Rules right here on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter as well at Slop Rules. That's it, man. I wish the games would start right now, to be honest.
That's awesome, dude. Well, I appreciate you being on here, Slop. We're going to have to get you on some more live streams for some DFS content because it's always fun to talk. It's always fun to do this.
I love this shit, bro. Again, like if we can get guys doing it the same way we do it, like you'll see DFS is actually fun. Like you will. Yeah. Like it actually is fun. It's just.
I mean, who doesn't love parlays, dude? Who doesn't?
Yeah, they're literally parlays. That's all you're really doing.
All right, guys. Appreciate you all tuning in. 100 of you in here still watching. Let's cash out today. I'm going to go watch my Jags obliterate these Bills because that's what's happening right now. So
nice.
Have a great Sunday, everybody.
Later.